You saw that from the beginning
Oh, yeah.
of the game right through the
For sure,
fourth
yeah.
quarter.
Yeah.
How do you go about trying to right the ship when you see it's like that from minute
I
one?
kept, imploring them to try to compete and play some defense, switching back between man and zone, anything to contain the ball, push it, get up on the shooters. Messages weren't getting through, so.
It seemed like all season when Carl or Ant start the first quarter off and just scoring a lot of points, and it's coming pretty easy. That leads to the team's worst basketball.
Yeah.
How do you address that? Because there are going to be quarters where it's good when they start out hot, but not have it lead to bad team basketball from there.
I mean, listen, you're spot on. I mean, there's lots of times when just because you've scored 2 or 3 or 4 points in a row or baskets in a row, it doesn't, obviously we're going to try to feed a hot hand, look for a hot hand, but at some point we got to get back to making the right play. We got to get back to doing the right things. That's just, like I said, there's a lot of ways to be immature. There's always a lot of ways to be immature. And there was a lot of immature performances here throughout the roster. We totally disrespected the game ourselves, and we got exactly what we deserved. So,
Chris, did you also see? I mean, did it turn into Carl trying to hunt like a big number?
Yeah, I mean it was. I mean, but for a while, it was going. But down the stretch, you got kind of dried up for us. But yeah, so.
Why couldn't you stop the bleeding defensively in terms of what were they doing?
I mean, it was ball containment. We just couldn't contain the ball. They dribbled around us every time we we had some guys out there trying, and then when they did, there was no second line of defense, and then we're just chasing them all night long. So, and then when we did have them in front of us, we didn't tighten them up, and they shot easy threes. That's when they got really back in the game, was when they made like a bunch of just kind of spot threes right in our face. So.
Could you see that their focus wasn't there even in huddles and things like that?
Yeah, you could see from the beginning that, it was one of those nights. So.
When you're lacking the poise like that, I mean, is there any way to try to fix that during the game, or is this something now where, like, tomorrow and the next day is where the hammer comes down, really?
I mean, the hammer's been brought down. Just brought it down. But I mean, I don't know exactly, what poise. To me, it wasn't about poise. It was about approach. So.
I mean, when you're not ready to play the game, but you're still ahead, and all of a sudden you need the poise to.
Well, it's funny.
Run.
What I said at halftime was, why don't we start getting back to being who we are and play some defense and not let this game fall down to a point where we miss a bunch of shots and they make a bunch of shots and then we're behind. That's what I said at halftime.
Chris, I know Ant was sick today. How much did that play into the game that he played versus? I mean, he just really looked like he wasn't looking for his shot at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting off of it, making a lot of the right plays, but he's still got to stay aggressive offensively. And for whatever reason, he didn't really. Obviously, Cat had it going, so everyone was looking for him. But we still need him to be a scorer, and then from that, make the right plays. So.
And then Nikhil's really delivered, I think, in pretty much every game you've started him this year. What have you seen from him in that role, which is a little bit different than what he has normally night to night?
Yeah, I think with that, he gets a lot of really good looks. He got a really good looks. Gets us into our offense, then stays shot ready off of it. And I think he's a primary handler out there. He feels comfortable for that, but he's gets us into the actions where Cat and Ant usually can create some traffic and then get him some good looks.